TinkerCAD tips. This is going to be part 5 in our birdhouse design tutorial in parts 1 through 3, and you can find those attached to my profile. We had made the shell of the birdhouse and the front cover. In the prior tutorial, I was working on these screws here and doing threads. If you want to see that tutorial, again, go to my profile, go back one video, and you should find that. All right, so in the prior video, I had made the inside cylinder and the threads for the whole part of it, and I had made the inside cylinder and the threads for this portion of it. Now, one thing I want to do here is to kind of note that this is an M10 screw, so right now this is standard for M10, but note that these threads are a little bit close together. So what I want to do is stretch this out a bit. Now, in order to do that, and to do this all proportionately, I want to do the same thing to the whole side of it. I don't want to do these differently, otherwise the threads won't work. So I'm going to grab all 4 of these, and I'm going to grab this sizing handle, this height handle in the middle here, and I'm going to stretch them upwards a little ways. Come down to the side here. That looks pretty good. I don't think I want to go too much more than that. So now everything should be proportional. All right, now the one thing we want to do to the solid side of this is put this taper in it here. So let's set up for that taper. Simple way to do this, we're just going to bring out a box here. I'm going to come over here, I'm going to get a cone. I'm going to hold down the shift key and rotate this upside down, turn that into a hole, and I'm going to bring that over here to my box. Let's flatten this out just a little bit. And you'll see where I'm going with this in just a moment. We'll grab the 2 of those, group them together, Control G. Whoops, let's undo that. Let's do a quick alignment first. Let's grab the 2 of those and align them. Okay, looks like everything is already aligned. Select the 2, Control G. If we make that transparent, you can see what's going on there. All right, now we're going to turn that into a hole. Now we're going to take our solid part here. We're going to grab the 2 of those, and for now, let's go ahead and group those together. Control G. And we're going to drag this over here. Align the 2 of those. Down the middle this way. And we want to grab that solid part and let's bring it up a little ways. If we look down the side here, we can see that that's going to cut off a portion of that. We'll change our snap grid to 0.5 millimeter here. There we go. Bring that up just a little bit more. That should be good. Select the 2 of those, Control G, group those together. So now you see we have a taper at the end of that. All right, now we want to take our top here, our thumb screw portion of it, and set it up on top of this and do our alignment. So let's zoom in here. Let's hit W for work plane. We'll put that on the top there. And while this is selected, we'll hit D to drop. We'll hold down Shift, select the screw portion of it, L for align. We'll click on the screw to make it the master. Align it that direction, that direction. Let's get our work plane and put it back on the default. That looks pretty good. Let's get our view back here. There we go. Let's select the two of those, and we're going to do our final grouping on that. Oh, before we do that, let's grab a copy of the thread portion of it here, Control D, and you'll see why in a moment. We're going to need to know the size of this without the top on it. And we'll change that to yellow. So now we have our screw portion of it here. Now we need to start working on the whole portion of it. Now if we back out and zoom into the top here, you can see in these corners, I have these parts where the threads go into, the whole portion of it. And if we look down here, I have this angle on it of 45 degrees. That way I don't have to print this all the way to the bottom. And this can be printed without a support. Here's a better look at that. See there? Got that 45 cut into it. So let's make that portion of it. Zoom out here. All right, let's bring out a cylinder, a solid cylinder here. Now we want to make sure this is a little bit larger than our holes. We're going to make this a bit taller. When we put this, the whole shape, the whole threads into this, we don't want to be into the portion of it where we've knocked this 45 off. So let's bring out a hole box here. I'm going to hold down the Shift key. Well, before we do that, let's resize this a bit. Make it a little taller, a little bit wider. I want to make sure I get enough of this cut off. There we go. I'm going to hold Shift key. I'm going to rotate that to 45. I'm going to select that cylinder. We'll do a quick alignment here. All right, now we can move this. Let's bring our box down here. Scooch it in a bit. Double check that that's going to cut off enough of it there. All right, let's make this a little bit taller. There we go. Let's select the two of those. Group those together. All right, now we want to place our threads in that. So we have our threads over here. Let's go ahead and grab those two parts. We're going to Control G, group those together. Let's bring it up a ways. We're going to Shift select the cylinder part. We'll do a quick alignment. Actually, we need to grab the whole part of it here. Let's bring that up. There we go. Got to be able to grab it here. Do our alignment. Now, on this whole part here, you want to make sure to bring it up enough that you don't get this part of it embedded down into it. You don't want to be level like that. You want to be up just a little bit above the top of it there, like that. There's no part of it poking through. If we make it transparent, we can see that that's fit in there correctly. Okay, we'll grab the two of those. Let's group those together. Control G. Well, we're at the end of this tutorial. When we come back, we're going to work on this portion of it a little bit more. We're going to put another taper in the top of this portion of it to more easily accept the screw over here. And then we'll begin placing these in the shell of our birdhouse. So like, comment, repost. See you on the next one. Happy tinkering.